This is USVI News, your Virgin Islands connection.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for USVI News. I'm Emily Matson. We begin with continuing coverage on the situation at Lime Tree Bay Refinery in St. Croix. Lime Tree Bay continues to keep operations suspended due to the reported flare incident earlier this week. They, along with numerous agencies, have been meeting with nearby residents and those in the community to assess the impact. USVI News' Ali Bourne-Vinek has an update on the situation and speaks with the commissioner of the DPNR, who shares how they're helping to address the situation and ensure future safety.
Investigations are still ongoing with numerous government agencies as well as Lime Tree Bay addressing the recent flare incident at the refinery. As we've reported, the situation caused heavy odors and oil affecting neighborhoods nearby. The refinery has suspended their operations for now. Lime Tree Bay reports in this press release that they have teams in the area and they're continuing to inspect. They say, quote, investigations have revealed there are scattered impacts to neighborhoods as far as west as a state whim. They're also continuing to advise residents to not consume water from cisterns and say they sincerely apologize for what's happened. As many groups and agencies investigate, I spoke with the commissioner of DPNR, who shared how they're addressing the situation.
At this time, the department, along with our partners here locally and also with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, we're working on also our own assessments of the operations and things that we would like to see Lime Tree commit to before restarting their refining processing once again. Prior to the shutdown, the agencies that were collaborating together were the Department of Planning and Natural Resources, FITEMA, the Department of Health, VI's, the VI Fire Service Hazmat Team, as well as the Virgin Islands National Guard Civilian Support Team. And the focus of that operation was really to conduct monitoring activities and trying identifying the source of the odor complaints that we were receiving. We were also logging all of the complaints, creating sort of a geographic profile as to what areas were being most affected. Right now with the shutdown, we're still going to be conducting monitoring activities. We know that the flare incident may take a day or two to actually pass and not have any remnants from that flare incident. And then the department, as well as the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, again, we're just collaborating right now on next steps and ensuring that the residents and the people of the Virgin Islands are safe while the Lime Tree, resumes refining operations.
At this time, officials report that it's difficult to say exactly when things will get better for those who are affected. DPNR's commissioner says with the refinery suspending operations from the incident, this now gives DPNR and other agencies a chance to make things better for the community. In St. Thomas, Ali Bourne-Vinek, USVI News.
3 men are now behind bars charged with first-degree murder among several other charges for shooting last month, which left 2 people dead and an innocent child shot. They're identified as 30-year-old Gilberto Rivera, 36-year-old Luis Rivera, and 27-year-old Jamil Williams, all of the Ario Heights housing community. VIPD and several federal agencies all worked together to make the arrests, serving the search warrants for these individuals at 4 o'clock on Thursday morning. Investigators say these 3 men were involved in killing 2 men and then also shot and injured an 11-year-old child when that child was playing in a playground. And this all when they opened fire back on April 19th, according to VIPD. And it was a cooperative investigation between the several agencies as well as the community, which led to these violent offenders now being off the streets.
We're serious about fighting crime in our community. The men and women of the Virgin Islands Police Department, we work diligently on this. In this particular investigation, we weren't going after individuals who were choir boys. We weren't going after individuals who were simply washing cars. We were going after trigger pullers.
This is only the beginning. We will use every resource at our disposal to rid our streets of those that intend to commit violence on the rest of us that want to live peacefully.
I will tell you that the Virgin Islands Police Department and the men and women in law enforcement were committed to serving our community. These actions that those individuals did, they were horrendous, they were vile, and we took action, and we'll continue to take action.
All three suspects are in jail under a $1 million bond apiece. Police say these men are 3 of 5 wanted in connection to last month's deadly shooting. Meantime, the VIPD is still asking for the public's help in tracking down the suspects who shot 2 children in St. Croix. It happened just after midnight this past Sunday morning in the John F. Kennedy Terrace housing community near the Golden Rock Shopping Center. VIPD says a 16-year-old boy, identified by family as Kamani Perdomo, was shot multiple times and died at the scene. A 9-year-old girl who was simply inside at a nearby apartment was grazed by a bullet. If you have any information, you're asked to call police or the department's crime tip line at 340-778-4950 or VI Crime Stoppers. A major hearing on Capitol Hill this week with the Caribbean in the spotlight. The focus, the historic insular cases. Our Washington correspondent, Matt Knadler, brings us all the details.
The insular cases are a series of Supreme Court cases that were grounded in racial discrimination for Americans living in U.S. territories, and it established the doctrine of it separate and unequal for residents in those territories. A hearing on Capitol Hill this week examined how to make residents of those territories equal to citizens on the mainland. The case is still used today to justify and deny territory residents fair taxation, access to federal programs, even voting rights. The hearing focused on a bill in Congress that would call on the legal system to stop using what they're calling an unfair set of standards. Virgin Islands Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett was among those testifying. Among her arguments, the territories pay billions of dollars in federal taxes every year, but still lack basic rights Americans in the states have. Plaskett also made her case for current tax reform bills to ensure Virgin Islanders seeking supplemental security income, or SSI, and to remove caps on other benefits like the Earned Income Tax Credit.
The combined populations of the territories is greater than that of 22 states and that of the 5 smallest states combined. It is a central principle of our American democracy that Americans, through their votes, can have a say in their government.
Puerto Rico's resident commissioner, Jennifer Gonzalez Colon, was among those testifying as well. She's on the committee and gave her case for this as well, because Puerto Rico and the 3.3 million residents who live there not only have the problem fighting for some of these same rights, but they're also fighting for statehood.
The insular cases doctrine denies democracy and equality and reflects abhorrent bias, and have provided a justification for Congress to discriminate against American citizens unfairly and irrationally.
You can watch the hearing for yourself and read more about the insular cases on our website. In Washington, Matt Knadler reporting.
Thank you, Matt. More now on that stunning announcement from the Centers for Disease Control we first told you about Thursday. Doctors from the agency saying fully vaccinated Americans can, for the first time since the pandemic began, take off their masks. Here's more details about the decision in the push now to get more kids vaccinated.
For more than a year, the nation has been, in essence, hiding from COVID-19.
Please, please, wear a face covering when you go out.
But on Thursday, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says, if you've had the shot, you can take off your mask.
Anyone who is fully vaccinated can participate in indoor and outdoor activities, large or small, without wearing a mask or physical distancing.
The facial freedom does come with some caveats. You'll still have to stay masked up in healthcare settings, on airplanes, and businesses which require them. Still, for close to 120 million fully vaccinated Americans,
we have all longed for this moment.
What a trooper.
The waiting is also over for 17 million kids 12 to 15 now eligible for the vaccine.
It's unbelievable. I'm so excited. I didn't think the vaccine would be out for my age group yet, but I'm so happy it's out this early.
Many say the protection is the next big step toward normal.
Summer camps, sports camps, get-togethers, sleepovers, all those things that the kids missed out on last year that put their mental health in a not great position. We can do those this year.
A year that may be most remembered for this moment, the time that for so many, the masks came off.
Certainly some reassuring news. This weekend, the USVI Soccer Association will be out and about getting kids signed up to play soccer. For the next several weekends, they'll be out at various locations signing up kids to play, and it is free. This weekend, they're going to be at the DC Kanagata in St. Croix and the Oswald Harris Court in St. Thomas. Registration and orientation is from 8 to 10 Saturday morning. Then the soccer training and festival will follow from 10 to noon. Thanks to grants, the USVI Soccer Association is trying to get kids into the sport of soccer, which they say is especially important after more than a year of having to deal with this pandemic. All boys and girls ages 5 to 13 are invited. To see the weekly schedule, you can visit VI Soccer Association's Facebook page.